Okay, that's all set. Let me hello live. Hello, hello, hello. It's like it takes a long time. All right, there we go. Why is it still not showing? I am live on the right channel, right? Yeah, live there. It's not even resetting, bruh. We'll do this. Okay. Did I not make it public? I thought I did. Okay, let me do this. Let me, oh, I can't even look at my lives that way, I guess. Hey, Shalia, how are you seeing it? Because for some reason, I can't even see it on my, um, let me close out of YouTube and reopen it. Now I can see it. Goodness. There we go. All right, now we're here. Now we're in this. It notified you I was live? Okay, good. Yeah, for some reason I couldn't see it. But we're here. Let me start the timer and the thing. All right. Oh my goodness, that's too fast. Let's turn that up. All right. It's back. Hello, hello, hello. We are back. It was rabid. No. I I had a week. So been sick pretty much all week. I'm still sick now, but I'm definitely a lot better than I was. Hence why we're walking now. But your girl was pretty much like my daughter is still she's still sick, but she still has a heavy cough and still has mucus on her chest, like when she's coughing. Um, but it's been a very very eventful week with a lot of things going on. But um, I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm looking forward to cleaning the house. My husband bought this steam cleaner thing. So I'm actually looking forward to using it and cleaning the house. And I want to like clean the house. I'm gonna meal prep some food. I bought chicken wings at Aldi today. Hey Wing, I bought chicken wings at Aldi today and like raw chicken wings. And after the walk, I'll either season them after the walk or I will put them in the fridge and then season them all tomorrow. But I also got leg quarters and I need to prep those because I'm gonna make the thighs, jerk thighs, and then the legs are gonna be just regular barbecued, like oven roasted legs, but with barbecue on them. Chicken wing, get it? Yes, I get it. I get it. But yeah, it's been, yeah, I have three, because we have to think about when it comes to meal prepping, because we were using the app for a while. And it's not to say that we're not going to still use the app, but we have a lot of things, and we didn't want to just like prep to like a whole new shopping list of stuff. So we pretty much have everything that we need except for like the chicken. So just spending, I think I spent like $20 because I bought 2 things of the chicken leg quarters, which ended up being like $10, and then 2 things of the chicken wings, which ended up being around, that one's probably a little bit more, like $12, $13. So spending like $25 on the chicken, I can make 3 meals with that. And in fact, I can make 3 meals with that. And that will last the week. And we have options for like what we want to switch out. So I want to do that. My incline was at 2, my speed is 1. I'm going to move that up. Incline to 4. Not I'm only worth $12. And it's the free range one. So I've been doing my hamstring flexibility and learning I've been doing it wrong the whole time. Did it right the first time on Wednesday and it still feels sore. Oh dear. I do want to improve my flexibility as well. I weighed myself this week and I meant to show it to you guys, but I, been busy and sick and whatnot. But we were still at 188 when I weighed myself. 188 even last week and this week. Did I post last week? I don't think I posted my weight last week, so I need to post that. But we are at 188 last week and this week. So that has me thinking of, what can be done, Because if it doesn't demotivate me, right, to keep going. I definitely still want to keep going. I want to at least hit 90 days. That's like my initial goal of 90 days. Getting to 90 days of consistency, right? I only got 20, which is really, really good. So I'm not demotivated. However, it's been 20 days and how many days how many days until I see a larger change, essentially, is my my question. So that's essentially what I want to know. Like, how many days will I start to accrue a better number on the scale? That you're on the right track number, But I don't know, maybe adding some more sit-ups or not sit-ups, crunches might help. Maybe you gotta do a little more, maybe not just walking. Yeah, that might be the thing. Because it's like, how many days will the walking be enough? Like for me if it's that, hey, just walk on the treadmill and 90 days you're gonna see a difference, then okay, I can do that. The perfect time to suggest Ring Fit. Change goes by slowly. Don't rush expectations. You're right. You're right. And here's the thing, it's going even slower. I had an amount of grace for this, and I feel like it's going even slower than that grace. And that's the part that makes this tough for me, because I'm like, oh, okay, it's not gonna happen in like 3 days. It's not going to happen in like 5 days. It's not going to happen in like 7 days. But now we're on day 20. So I'm like, we're 10 days away from day 30. And 30 days on the treadmill and not seeing that much of a change does concern me a little bit. Does draw concern. That's great compared to me, but I know everybody different on their goals. I'm 195, but my weight makes it harder for me. Feels like I got nowhere sometimes, or I get nowhere sometimes. Yeah, it's kind of how I'm feeling. Because here's the thing, I also do have PCOS, and I know that that affects things. But I don't like the thought process of thinking of this as a losing battle, because that doesn't benefit me in any way. But it's like, does it matter what I'm doing, you know? What specifically needs to be fine-tuned? And right now, what we're doing, this conversation, is working through the thought and processing processing the thought right now. Because maybe, and I'm thinking as we're processing, maybe it is like Talit said, that I need to do more. Or maybe we need to set walking goals during the walk. Maybe consistency. Like we've achieved consistency, so now we need to fine tune the actual workout, the walking workout. You know, maybe it's, maybe we test out some of these workouts on, like this thing has workouts on it. Maybe we test a couple of those out, you know? How about instead try noticing the changes you see at this current moment? How has this affected you? So I would say I definitely feel I feel better, right? I feel like I was at a certain spot of how I felt in my actual physical body, and I feel that that's improved. Like the way that I feel in my body has improved. And the fact that we made it to day 20, I feel proud. I do feel very proud of the fact that we made it to day 20. This is the most consistent I have ever worked out in my whole entire life. And you know what? Maybe that's also a factor in the disappointment that I kind of feel. I think because I've worked out before and I've been less consistent and it was easier to lose weight, that this is a little harder for me, that it's taking so long. But I do need to give myself grace, because I was working out with a trainer before, or I had, like my husband was like, there was a time where he was my trainer, there was a time where I had an actual trainer, and the workouts were different. The things that I was doing was different than now, you know? So I do need to give myself grace and understanding that it's not gonna be exactly the same as it was before. The workout's different, you know? 90 days, you will see a change for sure. Keep in mind, losing weight takes a long time, but gaining is so quick. That is very, very true. I do feel more energized. I do feel like, for the most part, outside of certain times where my mind is buzzing, I do sleep better. I feel like I have a better energy, not just feeling more energized, but being able to be a little bit more calm. I feel more rested when I wake up. Like when I go to sleep, I actually feel like when I wake up, it's not a groggy, like mind you, when I gotta wake up at 7:30, I'm gonna be groggy no matter what. But that feeling of feeling more rested, I haven't felt in a very, very long time. So that is something else that I noticed. Don't just look at numbers, like Talit said. It's about how you feel lately. Have you been enjoying the talk? Make you fit, et cetera, et cetera. I have been enjoying the walks. And I do find that even when like the times where I do it with you guys is fun, but even like being able to stand and just watch a show while I'm walking has made it helpful, and being able to get through some of the content I've been wanting to watch on my own. So it hasn't dissuaded me to a point that makes me want to quit or give up. And I think that that's good, because I don't like working out, okay? I don't like working out. And it's a lot easier for me to quit than it is for me to keep going. So I think a silver lining is the fact that I'm not at a point where I'm like, I quit. So that's good. That's good. Now that you have the energy, maybe you just need to slightly push it. Hi. You're doing great. You will see it on 90 days for sure. Thank you. Not me being late, because I didn't know you was live singing. Hey, Shalia. Hey, C. Hey, C. Yeah, and to learn what is right for you is to experiment and learn from your mistakes. You can't know what if you're doing it right if you don't know the wrongs. That's true. You're about to pass out, about to get that sleep. I love being more energized after a workout because I do my walks early mornings, and it's been great. You motivated me to start and being consistent. Claps in the chat. Claps in the chat. I'm really happy about that. All right, so claps and cheek claps. How's everybody doing? Not glad it wasn't me. We were for Jade, so I win again. Hilarious. So maybe what we can do, because we're at day 20, we're here, we're in this, we're locked in. We are in this, we are locked in. Maybe what we can do is make a detailed plan of what we want to do to try to get more of this and get more out of this, you know? I'm gonna be vulnerable. When I was recovering from binge eating disorder, I wanted to relapse to my anorexia and bulimia so bad that I cried so much and was in a dark place. And seeing the numbers hurts me. But thanks to my friends, I slowly lost weight from 240 to 180 over a period of a few months. But during those months, I was so obsessed over why I'm not losing weight and things haven't. Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that. I know you're probably still typing. But I do appreciate you being vulnerable with us. And, okay, hold on. Things haven't changed. So I should just starve myself. So I learned that I can't rush change, as it is something that will happen slowly. You don't notice at first, until you achieve your goal. So you got this, Christine. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening from Texas. Love the dedication. Thank you. Yeah, I've been doing well. I've been doing a lot more introspection on myself per usual. But you're not, are you being too hard on yourself? Don't be too hard on yourself. Whew. Can we talk about Kristen having an actual reason to procrastinate on her backlog? I swear the universe has it out for me. Let it happen, world. Yeah, like it's a lot. There's a lot that I'm doing. There's a lot that my husband's doing. It's an interesting, we're in an interesting moment. I'm trying to think of like how to say how I feel. Like, we work really hard. We work really, really hard. So, it's too hard. I feel like we work too hard. And when you are at a place where you work really, really hard, you get to a point where you're like, I want to enjoy more than I work. I want to work less and enjoy the things of life more. And there's like the things of self, there's the things of passion, you know? So trying to find the balance of motherhood, wife, what would you call someone who, you know, when you take care of a blessing you've received? What is that called? There's a word for that, where you've received a blessing and you are the blank of that blessing. You've got to take care of that, nurture that. You know? And YouTube tried to really play me just now. We got to free you, talent. We have never failed. Yeah, that's true. Steward. That's the word. So like, trying to do the things in life that you're supposed to do, and then try to do the things in work that you're supposed to do, and try to do the things in life that you want to do, and try to do the things in work you want to do. It's a lot. It's a lot. So right now, even though it's February, it's still very much a transitional month for me. Baby girl's back in school, so trying to keep up with her homework, and then trying to keep up with content, because that's how my bills are paid. Videos don't skyrocket like they used to, so more elbow grease is put into the videos and the output of content, and then the editing of that content by my husband, and then the streams. And then it's like, well, I want to have a baby, so I got to work out. So that has to have some type of consistency, you know? And when you work hard at a lot of different things, and it doesn't feel like you're pushing, it doesn't feel like the cart's really moving a lot. I guess that's where I feel right now. That's kind of, and I think that the weight is just another one of those. So I may not necessarily be super weighed down and discouraged about the lack of the weight loss, but maybe lumping that into yet another thing that I'm pushing the cart on, and the cart is barely moving. You got to remember that it's going to take time to see change, and it depends on your body and DNA and stuff. Very true. Yeah, I'm in one of those parts where the storm has passed and I'm waiting for another. All of us just taking turns. Apparently. But yeah. I do, since it's a new year, I need to start setting up our health appointments. And then taxes. It's a whole other thing that we've gotta like dive into and start coordinating, making sure we have all of our docs for, so we can file, be on time with that. Yeah. I do want to start therapy again. I feel like I'm at the point where I should start it again. I don't think I'm at like I'm not at a y'all need to really worry about me point. Like, it's not a cry for help. But I think that I can see that steps should be taken now before we end up in a place where it's a lot more that needs to be healed. For a free charge, I will be your personal complimenter for 30 minutes a day. Hop on Discord, and I'm going to shower you with love. Yeah, we love therapy here. I know for myself, I always starting and stopping my health journey because I wasn't seeing enough progress or seeing my weight go down. For everyone else, 200 an hour. Adulting is hard. How do I, like, Shalia, for real, okay? Adulting, where they say adulthood is the worst hood, not a lie, okay? Not a lie. And then on top of like the things that you have to do, I have to fight this zest I have for taking care of other people and looking out for other people, and not even like specific people, but the culture. And with the president being who he is and all the stuff that's happening, and it's like, okay, I want to help and change this. I want to help and change that. I want to help and change this, which is a thing I have to fight. And that's another reason I do want to go to therapy, because I do want to be better at being able to mentally say no to things and be okay with it. Because I think I'm at a place where I can say, that is not for me. That is not my cross to bear. But I'm not good at the snipping it and letting it go, you know? I'm not good with that yet. And on another, this is just like Christine's just word vomiting right now. But, which this is the safe place to do it. I am considering getting involved again with Christianity. And the phrasing does not really explain what I mean. But I have talked about the difficulties that I've experienced. Some of them, not all of them, but some of the difficulties I've experienced with going to church and like Christianity. We'll just umbrella it and say Christianity. And I think I had a toxic relationship with Christianity. And it's very much like the effects of that toxic relationship still exist. The scars are still there. And it's like dabbling or thinking about dabbling into that is scary, because it's like you literally have to tiptoe and baby step your way through. I don't want to make the same mistakes that I made the last time. And it would take a lot of work. Another reason why I want to go back to therapy, it would take a lot of work to discern and separate the person from the religion. Because when you have people guiding you in a religion, not everybody is just guiding you in the religion. Some people are guiding you with parts of them and the religion. And when they can't answer a question without taking themselves out of the matter, it just makes things confusing, especially if you don't agree with it. And you're like sitting there like, but that doesn't make sense. How is doing yoga a sin? That was like a thing. That was a thing. I remember going to church and they said, don't do yoga because it's a sin, because you're praying to the Indian gods. So I was like, well, if I just do the yoga moves and stretch, am I gonna go to hell? Where are the lines? If I do the yoga stretches and think about God while I'm doing it, will I be okay? Do I need to pray to God while I'm doing it and I'll still go to heaven? Or is even doing a stretch a sin? You know, let's draw this out. Let's write this out to make it clear. And nobody could. It made things confusing. The aspect of knowing if I was actually bad or if I was too hard on myself was the hardest part. That was the hardest part. Let me read some of the stuff that you guys said. Oh, let me scroll up. I missed a lot. Can I go back to being middle schoolers and high schoolers? Yeah, I wish I could. But I know for me personally, I don't weigh myself like that, because if I don't see a change, my mental goes downhill. The scale doesn't measure your water weight or other things. True. I agree. I want to quit adulting because I'm over it. Yes, I am also over it. College is a place where they expect you to get a job, do school, get a career, networks, bills, pay taxes, rent, groceries, cooking, and more, baby. And when you got a kid on top of that, baby. It just keeps going. I've been in therapy for a year and some months every week, and it's not even for a drastic measure. It's somebody out of my life circle that I can talk to. That's great. No, that's great. Trying to break your caregiving role, eh? Well, at least not entirely. Yeah, to some degree. I'm gonna apply for kindergarten again and see if they would accept me. That's hilarious. Like, I actually want to see, could I try to enroll? Will they give you a letter saying you are too old for this? Will they actually do that? That would be hilarious. I wish I could afford a therapist because, man, I need it. If they accept you, you got to put a good word for me. I'm going to join you, right? C, did you try BetterHealth? Try BetterHealth or Psychology Today. Through my insurance, girl. Yeah, that's what because since we got new insurance, I'm going to try to see if I can get my therapist back. If y'all need a cheap therapist, I'm here. And man, I have a license, but money is money. I also want to say walking is literally like the simplest and easiest way to lose weight. However, it does take longer to see the results. But know you are doing amazingly, Christine. Thank you. I appreciate that. We see you and hear you. And you definitely should be very proud of yourself for being able to be this consistent. I'm still struggling to get myself to start, but I am still trying to push myself. You got this. We got this together. Get started. Seeing you continue to do this is helping me. I'm glad they're paying for it. Yeah. You can be a Christian at home. I'll always advocate that because some churches have gone downhill with their personal views and judgments, I'll pray at home. That's definitely where I feel like I have to start. I don't think it's necessarily healthy for my mental health. I think it's in conflict with my mental health to go to a church unless because I think worship is normally fine. If I go to a church, go for worship, and then leave when they go to preach, I think I can find some health in that. And I think that might work. I have a toxic relationship with religion as a person who is questioning whether I'm trans or not. I was always been told that I'm a sin and have to spend my life atoning for all these sinning thoughts. So it was rough figuring out whether I'm actually sinning or is it just people enforcing hateful ideologies through religion. And that's the thing that is very tough with so many different things. It makes it very difficult. It's like whose way is the right way? Whose path is the right path? And then when you have someone leading you or guiding you, and they mix in their own biases and their own thoughts, it's like when you make a mistake, is atoning for that mistake good enough, or is it over? Did I F it up? It's already done. And no matter what else I do now, it would cause so many cognitive distortions, and so much okay. So it's very much like there's a deep cult-like level of Catholicism where they would it's not self-lament, but self-punish, right? Where they would whip themselves. They had like a cat o' nine tails, which is like a whip that has like shards of stuff on it. It could be glass, it could be nails, it could be stuff like that, sharp things. And they would whip themselves when they felt like they've done wrong. And that's how they would atone for their issues or atone for their sins. And I was emotionally doing that to myself because I constantly felt like even the smallest mistake I was gonna die and go to hell. Like it was that my paranoia. It did not bode well for my mental health at all. Okay, and I couldn't find proper guidance to find peace in that. See, I believe what I believe, but I respect everyone and what they believe or don't believe. Right, because here's the thing with me. Growing up in church, you learn certain things, obviously how the church feels about the gay community and everyone within it, right? But like, if you doing what you doing over there and I'm doing this over here, why should I be involved in what you're doing? And here's the thing. Here's the thing that I think a lot of people don't think of, and this is part of the problem for me, is when you die and you go to heaven, right? They say that you will talk to Jesus or God or whatever, and then you will get your judgment, right? And they always say it's gonna be you. It's not gonna be the people that you didn't yell at for being gay, right? It's not gonna be you and the people that you didn't persecute because of their religion or their sexual identity. So it's like, if when I stand before God, it's gonna be me and God, why should I spend this life persecuting others or making people feel less than, or not even sharing that love, Jesus's love, Why should I spend this life not spreading love? Because when someone who's gay dies and goes and like has that conversation with God, right? It never says in the Bible that it's gonna call up all the people. It's gonna be you and the you're gonna be judged by your peers. The jury's gonna be filled with all the people that knew you were gay and didn't say anything and didn't persecute you. So it's not gonna count against us to show love. And that's how I look at it. It's not gonna count against us to be loving. It's not gonna count against us to see a trans person or see a gay person and still be loving to them, and still treat them with respect and love and, treat them like a person. It's not a sin to treat people with respect and love. So when you see the way that some people are treated within the church because they're gay, people do that as if that is the answer. And I'm like, how do you know that that's what you should do to this person? How do you know, or what are you getting told that makes you say, hey, you're gay, I can't be friends with you, or I can't be around you? Cutting people out your life. Where did you read that that is what you should do as a Christian? As long as a person is open to looking at others' perspectives, gives people chances when they are needed, and actively tries their best to help people, that's usually what I look for. Right. Mutual respect and understanding. Mutual respect and understanding. And another thing for me that makes things kind of confusing is when everything is blamed on the devil. That when it's like, okay, you had a bad day, your car ran out of gas, you might have you had a broken taillight you didn't know, so you got stopped by a cop. You end up getting late to work, and then it's like, oh, the devil. And I don't mean the people who joke and say oh, the devil's out to get me, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who are serious, like the devil's working hard on me to serious. And if everything bad is the devil, where are the lines? When is it not the devil? When is a bad thing just a bad thing that happened? Or do you not believe that? Because if you don't believe that, then when I do this bad thing or this sin, am I now associated with the devil? So, needless to say, there were a lot of beautiful things beautiful moments I had in Christianity and in my relationship with God. And what I want to be able to have those beautiful moments and that beautiful relationship that I had with God, and not at the same time feel like I'm gonna die and go to hell at any given moment, Not have the paranoia, not have the fear, not just respect, but absolute fear of, this person cut me off and I got angry. Is this the moment that God's gonna judge me and take my life because I had this feeling? I would literally go through that. My paranoia would be through the roof, and nobody could provide solace at church. No one could. So it's okay, Christine. Just say them older folks still hanging on to it. So I got to pay federal and state on those But like, I don't have the money to do that for real. Yeah, taxes are crazy. No, I don't. I don't know that person. One thing I fear is people not forgiving people when people know for a fact that it isn't who they are and they are better than that. And it was a genuine, remorseful mistake in leaving them. I take it that this is something that's happened to you. And I can understand that. One of the things that I constantly have to tell myself is that we are not responsible for other people's beliefs about us. We are not responsible for the things that they choose to continue to believe about us. If they have a concern, it is their responsibility to bring it up to us. Then we can address, make changes, process, keep it moving. We can't live every day worried about how somebody else feels about us or thinks about us, or in a conversation felt we were this way or that way or what have you. It is their responsibility to let us know. Just like if someone rubs you the wrong way, it is your responsibility to let them know how you were affected. And from there, that communication, you guys can find a resolution, move forward. But for people who decide that you are in the wrong, even if you have taken the time to try to clear your name or make it understood that there was a misunderstanding or it was a misconception, what have you, despite all that, if someone decides you are still in the wrong, it is no longer your responsibility. That's what they believe, and you'll have to make peace with letting that go. One of the things that I was thinking about earlier today is like, it sucks when you have like a friend breakup. But that last friend breakup I had was like, it really opened my eyes to a lot of things. Because what's funny is when you are the person that gives like bend over backwards grace to those around you, and then when they have a misunderstanding, they give you no grace, none whatsoever. They write you off as this is the person you are. And then you spend a lot of time lamenting and proving and groveling and begging and pleading. If they've decided that is who you are, it is no longer your responsibility to prove them otherwise. You have to let that go. People, and my rejection sensitivity ain't do well with that. Yeah. Ooh, yes, everybody wants grace, but aren't always willing to give it. Girl, can we pin that? Let me see, can I pin that? Yeah, pin, boom. Everybody wants grace, but aren't always willing to give it. Ain't nothing but a word. Ain't nothing but a word. I was told some really good advice, which was to, 1, do my own research and not to rely on what others say. And 2, don't base your relationship, be it with God or whoever, whatever you believe in, on other people. Okay. Literally why I'm the most forgiving person. Yeah. Really easy for me to know if someone actually means their remorse or not. I love giving other people grace. I love it. I'm one of those chicks that honestly will go through the weeds to find a reason to give someone grace in a situation. They can look like they got the murder tool in their hand The blood of the dead person is on their flesh. There is a camera video showing this person murdering that person. And I will still weed down to the minuscule, the microscopic information to see if I can find the reason that they should be given grace. I would rather give someone grace than to just assume that someone is wrong or bad. So it's hilarious. It used to hurt my feelings. Now I feel like I find it hilarious. If I'm in a situation where my mind's like, oh, they probably think this, they probably think that, I stop it and I'm like, listen, if they do, it's not my problem. It's their responsibility to tell me, and then we address it and move on. But if they don't, and that's how they feel, I am not going to agonize over the possible thoughts that this person may have or the possible feelings this person may have by this interaction. I do not want to agonize about it anymore. They say that some high percentage, I think it's 70 or 80 or 90% of people who have terminal diseases are women, and that they found it was there was an attribute to internalizing and repression and how that attributed to the inflammation in their bodies. And that repression, that internalization caused so much inflammation that, you have that level of stress that is ripe for cancer, ripe for terminal diseases. I don't want to be one of them. That's been my mindset this year, is I do not want to be one of them. I have kept quiet for so long, let people shit all over me, and out of respect for them or not wanting to hurt their feelings, not bringing it up. That's the thought, not bringing it up, repressing, internalizing, keeping it to myself. You know what? They can't handle it. I'll just keep it in. And if I die, for what? For what? So this is the era of, even in with my husband, if something bothers me, I'll take a minute to think about how I want to express, but I come to him and I'll be like, babe, when this happened, this is how it made me feel. Instead of walking away and be like, oh, keeping it in, like fighting, having the argument with myself, because it's better to have that conversation and clear things up. Even with it, he'll be like, okay, that was not my intention. This is what I was trying to do. Or he'll be like, I'm sorry that it came off that way. That was not what I meant. And then we move forward. And I'm good. Some of these people are too grown to be out acting like this, and this is crazy. Very true. At the retired age of 65, yes. However, I just remember that we are all not perfect, right? So I let it go and let the higher ups deal with it. I like that statement. You know what? I'm gonna let the higher ups deal with that. It's not on my itinerary today, okay? Not on my workload today. It's above me now, as people say. I used to do that so much. Always thought of made-up arguments in my head, like, bro, that ain't how they act. Yes, cognitive distortions. Cognitive distortions in our lives. It rise, but you gotta be smart about it. Yeah. For real. This was a nice ranty chat on this walk. Feels good. Not gonna lie, almost didn't walk today. Almost didn't. But we're here, we did it. We got 8 minutes left. And then I'm gonna definitely put that chicken in a container, put it in the fridge, put some food away, and take me a shower. Get on my bed. This is what I define maturity, not old age. Yeah. Yeah. Claps in the chat. Some people call me grandma. Some people call me a naive child. So here I am. I'm a naive, childish granny. That's hilarious. I get what you mean, and I completely agree. Yeah. I may not agree with people's actions, but like I ain't gonna disrespect you, right? Yep. Like, bro, I'm mature because I have a more complex understanding of myself and others around me, not because of my experience in this life. Yeah, so there's a thing as emotional maturity. That's a thing. You know, they have street smarts, and there's common sense. There's a region of emotional maturity. You are still human at the end of the day. Yes. I have my own stresses to deal with. Yes. And the mental health journey is that, a journey. It's not a step and then you done. It's a journey. Because you be walking, feeling good, like, yeah, I'm feeling proud of myself. Then whoop-a-da-shaw, something happens. A strong wind blows you over. And now you gotta pick up. You gotta pick up them papers that you was holding. You gotta pick up, dust off your clothes. That all takes time. And if more winds are coming during that, you gotta do it all again. So I will, this weekend, if I can online, schedule my appointments. My doctor's appointment, my therapy appointment, all the stuff. So I can make sure that I am doing the things, because it is more important to me that I take care of myself. It is more important to me that I make sure I am good. It is more important to me this year especially to put me up there. Put me first in some things. Okay? In some things. So, I got the baby, so she gonna be first in a lot of things, okay? And then my husband, he gonna be first in things too. But instead of putting myself way back there, I'm gonna pull myself up. Pull myself up. Nice, you got your bubble wrap ready. Compassion and accountability, yes. Yes. If you insult me, I don't care. But if you insult my friends or people I love, say hi to Satan for me and hell. Goodness. Mature, yeah. I was emotionally mature. People used to call me grandma because I acted like it. If only everyone was on this level. We are wishing. We is wishing, okay? Hoping and wishing and praying and hoping. But hating and discriminating others ain't in it. You're right. Okay, weird thing. I never knew that having and learning and getting to new points of maturity, being a new person, might make you less nice. And that scared the heck out of me. Like, you could be resentful. Or you mean like old age? Shalia. More than likely not reading it. That's very true. No, just having new understandings when growing up and learning, it might make you more rude and less forgiving. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think it necessarily makes you more rude and less forgiving. I think that whenever we come across something, we're at a crossroads. Whenever we come across anything, we're at a crossroads where we have a choice. And you may innately feel things, but the actions you choose are a choice. So you may get hurt by something, and then the choice to forgive, or the choice to move forward, the choice to try to resolve, I feel like that's laid at everybody's feet. I think what happens is sometimes people take preconceived notions and use that when they're filtering their decision on what to do. And then some, I feel, do the research and was like, okay, is this like the last time I got cheated on, or is this a different situation or a different thing? Yeah, yes, it is more rude for them to push your boundaries than it is for you establishing. Having boundaries does not make you rude. Having boundaries makes you smart, makes you very smart. That is what I constantly have to tell myself. You can choose to be a better person, but there are just parts of maturing is to go through. Going through rough patches is growing up. That's how you learn. It's how you learn. When I first moved to Tampa, the church that I would go to was like deep downtown. And downtown has a lot of one-way roads. And I remember I just freshly got my car for the first time driving, just got my license, and I could get to the church, but downtown would constantly have events, and it would constantly have, certain roads would be blocked. Then I'm like, okay, well, the roads I take back are now blocked. How do I get back home? So it was getting lost and trying to find my way back made me learn how to be better as a driver in the city. Made me a better driver, made me a smarter driver, and made me learn how to navigate through the city better. So that way, okay, if there's an event on this street, check it, I know how to go home another way. And if that street, I got another way. So growing up is like having rough patches, having these things happen, because I used to be terrified I was terrified that I would get lost and no one would ever find me. I was terrified of being lost. So growing is having those rough patches, but finding your way around it. So it builds your strength as a person. All right, we are at time. Okay, W day 20, we have done it. Thank you for this lovely chat. Hold on, let me stop the watch. And all right, I am tired, and not gonna lie, I'm extremely hungry. So I'm going to make like a bowl of cereal, something light. Maybe if I drink some coconut water, I might be okay. I gotta see. Something light. Don't heat it. I should warm up the bowl of cereal. Yes, hands. Okay, I love you guys. I'm gonna see you. Peace. Love y'all. Great conversation. All right, bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.